Reflection for Tuesday, June 23rd. Today's gospel gives us three apparently disconnected teachings, but which, however, give us occasion for reflection, not just on the texts themselves, but on our own reactions to them and on our relationship with Jesus. Who is this person for you and for me? First, the often called golden rule. In different grammatical forms, do unto others appears in just about every religious tradition in human history. It is part of the continuity between Jesus and Jewish tradition. This is, of course, critical to Matthew's understanding of Jesus as teacher, as the new Moses. Well before Jesus' time, it appears in wisdom literature, which he certainly knew, where it had the connotation of judgment. The good are rewarded, the wicked punished. We take it so much for granted, but what is my personal reaction to that as I hear Jesus say it? The image of the gates was also known in pagan philosophy and in the Hebrew Bible. One gate leads to life, the other to death. It was not foreign either to Jesus or to Matthew's community. Is it a warning? Of course it is. In the cemetery of the German war dead in Normandy, the gate of stone is narrow. Only one person can enter at a time. Because, as the guide tells you, we all face death alone. How do I feel about Jesus telling me that? Finally, what were the pearls and the swine and the dogs about for Matthew's community? What is it about for us? Like much of what was recorded as said by Jesus, it's best not taken literally, but is better understood in the context of those for whom it was recorded by the evangelists. The dogs and the swine are best understood as terms of contempt for outsiders in Jesus' time, and for Matthew's community, they refer to Gentiles. Rabbis later understood it as protecting the law from Gentiles, and by the early Christian communities as keeping the Eucharist from the unbaptized. More than one example of exclusion when we believe Jesus' teaching was in fact all about inclusion. Even if these teachings are to be understood by the evangelist in his time as part of their genuine need to protect themselves and their tradition from persecution, how are we to understand them today? There have been many eras in the past, up to and including recent times, when focus has been on protecting the institution and excluding others. In our time, perhaps the most egregious example is that of clergy abuse, where priests and bishops put the protection of the institution, of themselves and of their power, above the welfare of the most vulnerable, children. Jesus' teaching, however, is about mercy, inclusion, and love. The spiritual exercises of St. Ignatius is, among other things, a journey of deepening our relationship with Jesus. The pieces of today's gospel give us a good deal to reflect on in regard to who Jesus was, what he really taught, and who his earliest followers thought he was, and how they experienced him. For Ignatius, the metaphors of leader and king were meaningful. But who do we meet and experience in our prayer? To whom do we desire to grow closer? Is he the teacher of Matthew's gospel? Is he your mentor, as someone suggested to me recently? More like an older brother, a best friend who is always available, or the lover of mystical spirituality? Above all, wasn't he then, and isn't he now, the image of the invisible God of love?